donating a kidney to her sister-in-law, being betrayed by her brother. The dramatic journey of businesswoman Lillian Carter. Lillian Carter, a young entrepreneur with an aspiration to transform the medical industry, has made her dream a reality. 10 years ago, in her family's small garage, she founded HealthSync Solutions, a company specializing in developing health management software to optimize healthcare. Lillian worked day and night, not afraid of difficulties, to take the company from nothing to become a leading name in the industry, with a market value of more than $100 million. For her, each success is not only a testament to her efforts, but also the pride of the whole family. But life is not only about success. A major event occurred 5 years ago, when her sister-in-law, Grace, was diagnosed with end-stage renal failure. Grace's condition was getting worse, and doctors said she needed an emergency kidney transplant to keep her alive. The family was in a state of panic, and no one in the house had the right outcome for kidney donation. Without hesitation, Lillian decided to go check it out. The results showed that she was the only person in the family who could save Grace. Although her mother, Eleanor, advised her to stop because she was worried about her health and work, Lillian did not back down. "Family is the most important thing," she said, "and Grace needs me more than the company right now." The surgery was successful, and Grace had another chance to live. However, Lillian's sacrifice was not easy. Her recovery took longer than expected. During the 3 months following the surgery, Lillian had to manage work from her bed, using late-night video calls and emails to keep the company running. Her younger brother, David, visits regularly with a heartfelt thank you. He brought flowers and said, "You saved our whole family, Lillian. I'll never forget this." Lillian believes that her sacrifice has brought her family closer. However, she did not expect that the decision to save Grace would open a chain of events that would lead to the most painful betrayal from the people she trusted the most. After the successful surgery, Lillian Carter spent more time recovering. For the first 3 months, she worked remotely, trying to maintain the stability of HealthSync Solutions. During this time, her younger brother David, who regularly visits the office, says he wants support so she can rest more. With an MBA from Harvard and experience in corporate finance, he began to participate in meetings, build relationships with board members, and make recommendations. Grace, her sister-in-law, also joined the company. Lillian, grateful that Grace had overcome her illness, offered her a job in human resources. She believes that her new job will help Grace find joy in life again. In Lillian's eyes, things seemed to be stabilizing again, and her family was closer than ever. However, subtle changes began to occur. David appears more and more in meetings, making important decisions in Lillian's absence. Meetings were arranged at the time of her checkup, and important discussions often took place at dinner parties that she was unable to attend due to her diet after kidney donation. At first, Lillian was not suspicious. She thought David was just trying to help her share the responsibility. However, strange signs began to appear. The conversations stopped when she entered the room, and the staff looked at her with sympathetic but evasive eyes. Even Grace, whom she sacrificed to save her life, gradually became distant, avoiding Lillian's gaze when they met in the hallway. The culmination was the 10th anniversary of the company's establishment. Lillian, the founder of HealthSync Solutions, prepared a passionate speech to share about the journey and vision for the future. But as soon as the ceremony began, David stepped onto the stage with a shocking statement. He declared that Lillian was no longer healthy enough to lead the company and needed to give way to a new generation of leaders. Himself. A sense of betrayal filled Lillian as she saw the board members, whom she once trusted, nod in agreement with David. And Grace, whom she had sacrificed to save, just bowed her head in silence. Lillian left the ceremony, but in her heart she had begun to form a plan to protect what she had built, and most of all, to let David know that he had made a big mistake in underestimating her. Lillian Carter left the company's 10th anniversary celebration in silence, but her head was already busy with a counterattack plan. During her 10 years of building HealthSync Solutions, she not only learned how to lead a company, but also understood each legal aspect and power structure of the organization. David may have thought he had won, but he didn't know that she had prepared for this situation long before it happened. That night, Lillian returned home, ignoring dozens of messages from colleagues and investors. She opened her laptop, double-checked company documents, and activated the safeguards she had built into since day one. Among them, the most important is the dual shareholding structure. She owns 70% of the voting rights through Class A shares, while the shareholders and board of directors only control Class B shares with limited voting rights. The next morning, she arrived at the office very early, before David and Grace could arrive. When they arrived, David's smug expression quickly turned into surprise at seeing Lillian in the main conference room. "What are you doing here?" he asked, his voice a little confused. "I'm here to defend what belongs to me," Lillian replied, calm but determined. She opened the tablet and projected important documents onto the big screen. "David, maybe you should read more carefully about the company's ownership structure before plotting to topple me." Lillian explained that no one on the board, including David, could remove her from leadership due to her supermajority voting power. But that's not all. She revealed that medical management software, which accounts for 80% of the company's revenue, doesn't actually belong to HealthSync Solutions. It is owned by her own company, LC Innovations, and is licensed only to HealthSync Solutions. The final blow that caused David and Grace to collapse was the clause in the company's major contracts. If Lillian was forced to resign, the client had the right to cancel the contract without any penalty. "A bunch of cancellation emails are waiting in my inbox," she said. "The company will collapse if I leave." David tried to resist, but Lillian had a firm grip on all the cards. She offered two options: either David and Grace resigned, transferred all of their shares at falling market prices, or faced litigation and the risk of bankruptcy. Eventually, they were forced to sign their resignations and leave the company in disgrace. When she walked out of the meeting room, Lillian didn't look back. She knew that this was not only a victory for the company, but also an affirmation of her own worth. But most importantly, she proved that kindness and sacrifice were not weaknesses. They were her true strengths. After forcing David and Grace to resign, Lillian Carter immediately embarked on a restructuring of HealthSync Solutions. She does not let personal trauma overshadow her vision. On the contrary, the betrayal from the closest people made her even more determined to take the company through the storm. Lillian started by reinforcing the management team. Board members who had supported David quietly withdrew after pressure from both the company and investors. Replacing them are trusted professionals who are not only talented, but also share the core values of loyalty and transparency that Lillian eschews. One of Lillian's first major decisions was to expand the company's flagship medical management software to the international market. She knows that the need to improve the health system is not limited to the United States. With a new global network of customers, the company's revenue grew strongly, quickly overcoming the temporary damage caused by David's plot. Within just a year, HealthSync Solutions' market value doubled, catapulting the company to the top of the global medical technology industry. But for Lillian, success isn't just measured by profits. In the months of rebuilding the company, she realized that true strength lies not only in power or possessions, but also in resilience and the ability to overcome adversity. The scar on her body, the vestige of the kidney donation surgery, is no longer just a symbol of sacrifice, but also a testament to her strength and unshakable will. David, after the humiliating defeat, sent an email apologizing, hoping for reconciliation. "Family is family," he wrote, hoping to patch up the pieces. But Lillian didn't answer. For her, family is not just a blood relationship, but people who truly respect and support each other. However, she did not keep her bitterness forever. Lillian understands that the best revenge is not to destroy others, but to rise so high that those who have tried to bring you down can only watch from a distance. She often tells her employees, "People who think kindness is a weakness will always underestimate our true strengths." Today, when she takes the stage at major conferences on medical technology, Lillian becomes a model of resilience and innovation. She shares her story, not to mention betrayal, but to affirm a truth: sacrifice, when accompanied by perseverance and wisdom, can make extraordinary things. Lillian has not only revived HealthSync Solutions, she has also rebuilt her faith in herself. A belief that the real power lies in overcoming adversity and turning it into motivation to go further. After regaining control of HealthSync Solutions, Lillian Carter immediately focused on recovering and growing the company. The crisis months made her realize that sustainability comes not only from financial success, but also from a strong foundation of leadership and a corporate culture based on trust and responsibility. First, Lillian reformed the management team. Those who once supported David quietly resigned, giving way to trusted individuals who shared her long-term vision. Lillian emphasizes transparency and ethical values, rebuilding trust within the company. In terms of products, she leads the technical team to upgrade medical management software, integrate artificial intelligence and advanced analytics solutions. These improvements not only strengthen the company's position in the domestic market, but also expand internationally, attracting more large customers and increasing revenue significantly. Within just 1 year, HealthSync Solutions' market value grew strongly, surpassing all expectations. For Lillian, however, success isn't just about numbers. She understood that the biggest lesson from David and Grace's betrayal was the importance of building loyalty and putting trust in the right place. Instead of being bitter, Lillian focuses on creating a work environment where people feel valued and supported. Her resilience not only revitalized the company, but also made her a symbol of overcoming adversity, inspiring both the team and the industry. After putting HealthSync Solutions back on track, Lillian Carter not only restored the company, but also cemented its position as a resilient and discerning leader. The company's immense success has confirmed that hurts and adversity cannot defeat her, but on the contrary, they become the motivation for her to go further. Lillian is regularly invited as a speaker at international conferences on medical technology and leadership. At these events, she shared her story not to talk about betrayal, but to inspire the strength to overcome adversity. Sacrifice doesn't make you weaker, she says, but only makes you stronger if you know how to get up and keep going. Despite her great success, Lillian has not forgotten the lessons of family and loyalty. When David, her brother, sent a heartfelt apology letter, she accepted the apology silently, but did not reopen the door to the relationship as before. For her, family is not only blood, but people who really respect and accompany each other. On Lillian's desk, there was always a picture of her with David and Grace, when everything was still peaceful. She kept it not to remind herself of betrayal, but to remember that it was those wounds that made her stronger. Today, HealthSync Solutions is a symbol of innovation in the healthcare industry. But for Lillian, the greatest success is not just numbers, but inner peace and the belief that she can overcome any challenge. Lillian often appears on the big stage telling the story of her journey to overcome adversity. She didn't shy away from mentioning the betrayal from David and Grace, but the story didn't stop at the pain. Instead, she uses her experience to inspire leaders, especially women, about their inner strength and ability to turn adversity into motivation. One of her quotes became iconic. "They think my kindness is my weakness, but it is my greatest source of strength." However, this success did not make her forget the valuable lessons about her family. When her mother, Eleanor, repeatedly advised her to resume her relationship with David, Lillian listened with respect. However, she understands that not every relationship can go back to the way it was. Lillian accepted David's apology, but their relationship was now just a polite greeting. For her, family is not only blood, but also people who are willing to stand by you in the most difficult times. On Lillian's desk, an old photograph was placed solemnly. It was a photo of the day she left the hospital after the kidney donation, the smile on her face and the grateful eyes of David and Grace. Lillian kept the photo not to remind herself of the betrayal, but to remind herself of the journey she had traveled. The scar from the surgery is no longer a symbol of pain, but a sign of strength. Today, when she steps into her new downtown office, Lillian not only feels proud of what she's built, but she also finds peace in herself. She knew that the daily trauma had helped her become a stronger version. And with each step HealthSync Solutions has made, She always keeps in mind that the greatest strength comes from resilience and the ability to overcome adversity. In the sunset over the city, Lillian looked out the window, a smile on her face. She has not only survived all the challenges, but actually lived a life full of meaning and accomplishment.